Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So the temple. Let's talk about the temple, shall we?
Sure.
So, I mean, my inclination here is to just be like several days later, but I can't really because we're I don't want to. I really don't want to start dividing us by like chronology. Be like, cool. So two of you are a week behind, and the rest is like, that's a nightmare. So
You don't want to use your move to split us up in time.
in time, yeah, exactly. Like I can handle you being in different places, but like it's not on my agenda to make my job more difficult.
Okay.
So
That's on my agenda.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Except, I would really like, maybe not this campaign, but I would like to see one where you are doing that literally as well. But that's part of the setting, and you can just be like, yeah, you guys like your last week now, so you get to. You can't interact with them because that happens.
time travel and time bullshit in role playing games is like I'm gonna put a stake in the ground. I think it's really, really difficult to do. Maybe impossible to do well. To be like, cool, so it's 6 weeks ago, and you're like, great, I shoot this guy, and I'm like, you can't because fuck. It's very, very difficult. You have to get the whole
Shoot this guy.
well, everybody has to be on board with not doing that stuff, with being like, okay, well, fictionally they're off the table. But anyway,
Preserve the timeline.
unless we want to unless Dice and Ferris, unless you guys are willing to elide the immediacy of the next situation and be like, cool, so 2 days later.
You're welcome to do that if you want. If you want to be like 3 days later, and then whatever we do next, they'll be 3 days later as well.
Okay.
We may have to
Figure out how we got there.
Yeah,
we
let's
may have
fuck
to
it.
explain.
Fuck it, let's dive in. Let's do the thing. So everybody jumps forward several days. Tynant and Brace, you are in the temple, and this makes more sense why Brace, you haven't eaten in a few days. You think you can remember drinking, but like it feels to me, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but it feels to me like Brace doesn't have great like self-care protocols.
No, not at all.
So yeah,
So she just like neglects to eat for 3 days.
Yeah.
And then suddenly she's very, very hungry. And she's like,
Yeah, why is my body not doing things? Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
you're all weak and confused.
Yeah, I dig that. Okay.
I guess so. If we're like just in the temple, I guess Brace is like literally like sunning herself like a cat on a rock. But like you can tell that she's kind of out of it. Like she's not paying attention to like people around her where she would usually be like watching everyone like a hawk. So she's just like out of it, like laying somewhere in the temple, just like
So
laying.
I mean, what's the law say about like loitering? Like if you're not using the resources of the temple,
Yeah.
can
So,
you
yeah,
just
you're,
be
like,
around?
sunning yourself,
Yeah.
and then suddenly you're in the shade.
Right, Mount Tynan arrives.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm standing over you. I have like a shovel. I got my usual like towel tucked into my belt and all that. Like I've been working out in the fields. And I like fiddle with my hat while I wait for you to notice.
And like it takes a second because she's starving herself to death, as it were. And like she like looks up at you and like she's just like and then like looks over like what?
What are you doing here?
And it takes like she probably forgot that she came here for a reason. She was very like adamant like when it happened, like, yes, let's do this right now. Let's just start off and go to the temple. But like she got here, there's a bunch of stuff happening, and then she forgot why she was here. And so she has to think about it for a second. Like, why is she here? And then she looks back at you and she's just like, and just like she's not engaged in this conversation.
What's wrong with you?
Oh God, we've only got 3 hours left.
I guess if you like pointedly ask her what's wrong, like she would be like, yeah, wait a second, I'm not feeling like normal. Like there is something that's not like, and so she like Like you can tell that she's like taking a second to assess like actually what's wrong with her. And then she's like, I'm thirsty.
Are you sick? It's not like you to lay about this way.
You would like that, wouldn't you?
What?
If I were sick.
If you were sick, then I could fix it. That's
You would
why.
like that, wouldn't you?
Brace is such a piece of shit.
Yes, she is.
I
Such
don't
a
really
piece.
care about the wherefore or the why. I simply want to get you on your feet and functioning so that you can contribute if you want to stay here, or so that you can leave if you don't.
And she's okay. She's probably willing to go along with you if you like actively like try and get her up and like fix her, but she won't like she's not gonna like she's gonna try and get out of working. But she would let you fix her. Like feed her and stuff.
Yeah, and so like Tynan like lifts you to your feet.
God,
But
I love
you
Brace's
get to look
Brace's attitude here, and I have a question for you, Blue Jay.
Mhm.
So, like, it seems to me like you see Tynan like helping you as a favor you're doing for Tynan. Is
Yes,
that am I okay?
yes.
Am I reading that
Tynan
right?
likes helping people.
Right, like-
and he's not gonna leave me alone, like, because he wants to help me because that's what Tynan does.
Right.
Like seeing people who are like sick and injured and bringing them to his stupid temple and letting stupid spirits like heal their bodies. It's like his shit, you know?
Right.
And so yeah, this is Grace like you would like if you could help me, wouldn't you? Like
Brace goes to the McDonald's. Is like, why do I have to pay you for a hamburger? Don't you love making hamburgers for me?
yeah, that's it, exactly.
Perfect.
Don't you
Yeah.
just love doing this thing?
like lifts you by like grabs your arms and just like props you up on your feet. And it says, "Did you forget to eat again?
Yes. I did.
When was the last time you ate?"
And she like just takes so long to think that you know that it's been a while.
Yeah. Great. So she's been here for yeah, and so the last thing I'll ask is just how long have you been here?
You Deerfield.
Oh, that's when you showed up. 3 days. And I like narrow my eyes as I'm like thinking about it. So you've been here for 3 days. You haven't worked. You haven't eaten anything. So some laws have been broken.
Right.
Fucking hell,
Well,
dude.
but here's the thing, right? Like who, like the not working thing. I understood that to be like, again, this is the like loafer policy, right? Like, can you just be around and not partake of the resources of this place without working? You're not even allowed to like walk around without working.
No, you got to work to be here because also everyone who's here drinks and eats.
Right. But
And that's the other
so
law.
yeah, God, Brace, I love it because I don't even have to push these laws into contradiction. Brace is doing it for me because it's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to hang up but not work. What are you going to do? Oh, you're not
Yeah.
feeding me. You're breaking the law. I'm not working. I'm also breaking the
You're
law.
breaking two laws.
Right. But the thing is that like I understand this to be everybody eats and drinks is not a law that Brace, or I guess is the thing you have to eat if you're here, or is it we have to feed you if you're here? Like
I feel like I like
it's
me
like
will,
it's
like
this.
Grace
I guess
would
this is the
basically
thing.
be like, whose fault is that?
Do we see this law? Is this law interpreted as everyone must be fed, or if you're here, you're not allowed not to eat and drink? Like there's a minimum drink order. Like if you're here, you have to pay at least $5. Like you gotta buy a fucking Diet Coke.
So the fun thing about laws is that
It's however
though
he
they are specific in their details, the enforcement of them is entirely arbitrary.
Right.
So in this particular case, what Tynan is deciding is like, right, it's not like no one offered you food, you forgot to eat. Like I literally asked you and you were like, yes, I forgot to eat. So you have already acknowledged that you are complicit in this crime, right? This breach of the law.
Okay, well, Tynan says like out loud, you broke the law, and Brace would respond out loud, whose fault is that? because she wants to take the like she's been here and no one has assigned her a task and no one has given her food, and it's because she never did anything before, obviously, and so people are just like, oh yeah, she's back again, like whatever, like she just is weird.
And so, yeah, like I just kind of like lift you up by
Oh,
whatever
God.
clothing I can get a hold of and just start like dragging you out of the temple. And I'm just gonna walk you all the way down the road, like the path to the road, and then just like shove you out into the road.
Are you fucking right now? Okay.
Get
Grace is
wrecked.
probably like she would probably attempt to like fight, but she's not able to.
No, stop, don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
'cause
I
you're
mean,
doing
okay, but
great.
also like Tynant's got their hands all over you, right? There's a lot of like
Oh,
physical
shit.
contact going on
totally
here.
right. I don't need to be strong physically to do some puppet stringing.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Okay,
there is
now-
physical like intimacy here.
So, like, absolutely, I'm all for Blue Jay getting to puppet strings me, but definitely my Lawbringer move triggers.
Yes, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take that away from you because
I
the
just wanna
fictional
roll it
trigger.
to see how this, like, how that's gonna go,
Yep.
and then we can do the strings.
Yeah, of course.
Cool. I get an 11, so
Right.
I get to decide.
Yes.
But that decision is gonna happen at the roadside,
Right. So as you're being kind of like
and yeah,
flopped
get
around.
your strings on me, and we can.
But before
Okay,
you
well,
do
I'm
that,
actually- I'm gonna go aggro because I can go aggro with weird and not get the. I'm not actually going aggro. I get the effects of going aggro without going aggro. So
Yeah.
like I can just be
So
like,
this is in our like standoff at the
dude,
road.
yeah, this is our standoff on
well,
the road. I'm just
before
like,
before you can
help
even
me.
muster the mental energy to do that, you
He's got
have
a
to
lawbringer.
you got to act under fire, and the fire
right,
is your
'cause
body is dying.
Totally die.
So you're like, get your freaking hands, it's
I have
like
to muster the energy to look at him.
yeah, like I said, until you deal with
God
this,
damn
the
it.
fire the fire is your fucking body disintegrating slowly.
I bet you want to eat some of that brass now, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Because whether you admit it or not, your brain is an organ in your body.
It's true. Yep. Oh dear. Oh, all right. Oh, you still have one. You have one harm right now from before.
Yeah.
Okay, that would have healed in the. Oh, actually, no, it wouldn't because you're not eating or drinking, so your body isn't repairing itself. So you keep that harm.
Okay.
Did anybody else? Anyone else who had harm that was still healable? I guess we'll get back to you, Dice. You've got harm, and we'll work you out in a second. Okay, so you've colossally flubbed your move. That's good.
So what does that mean? Do I like faint in the road? Like-
No, but what I think you do is because you are powered by I was gonna say you're powered by the apocalypse. You're powered by the maelstrom, right? Like the psychic maelstrom, and you are connected. I think what you've just done is you've opened your brain and Tynant's brain to the maelstrom. Now you can't roll because
I'm
you failed. That is the
I
maelstrom dumps on you. But Tynant, you feel this happen. You feel some outside like presence, like crawling at the edge of your mind. Maybe you can hear the like howls of the ghosts kind of in your head. Something very bad is going on. How do you resist? What do you do, or do you just like let it wash over you?
Yeah, I mean, I would like open my brain to it. I'm happy to make that roll.
Yeah. Okay. That's the thing. Yeah. You kind of have two choices, right? You can resist it, or you can be like, yes, come on in.
Because I think like the howls of the dead is like it's like a sound of water, but it's a very particular one.
Yeah.
And like this has been what has like triggered my visions before. So if I hear the dead trying to talk to me, then I
yeah,
gotta listen.
they're saying things. You're not sure what they are yet, but yeah, there is that rushing sound, and yeah,
And
cool. And you
we
just
were
like
yeah.
you go with it. Okay. So I think what is evident here is like Brace's intent, right? The maelstrom makes clear what Brace is thinking, and Brace is you can see right through her. So go ahead and I'm just gonna keep snowballing these moves into each other. Ask the maelstrom questions as if you'd gotten a 10+ on reading a person, and I will answer for the maelstrom by way of Brace. So you can ask questions about Brace as if you just read them.
I can ask questions about Brace.
Yeah, you ask the Maelstrom questions about Brace as if you'd read Brace, and I'll
And
give
the
you the
Maelstrom's going to tell me.
I'll
stuff.
give you the Maelstrom's answers. Yeah.
How can I get you to stop being useless shit?
and then we'll come back and we'll deal with what happens to Brace.
Yeah, like, what broke you is what I really want to know. Like, why are you like this? How could I get you to not?
Why are you like this?
We'll go with the water metaphors here. Brace's body, the physical thing, the frail thing that is disintegrating that you're holding in your hand. Brace's body is a dam holding back a great torrent of powerful and destructive water. That's the broken part of Brace, is that Brace is a thing of great and terrible power trapped in a frail meat existence. That's what's broken. Something once that if Brace is able to like get over that problem somehow, things will change dramatically for Brace and everyone around her.
And what is Brace feeling right now?
I don't. Yeah, I would normally this would be the part where I ask Brace, but Brace doesn't get to answer this question. Brace, you can decide if the Maelstrom is lying or not about this.
Let's go with it.
You can embrace. You can decide like, yeah, no, that's true. The Maelstrom is like that, or it's interpreting your feelings in a different way.
Do it. Let's go.
The sense that you get from Brace is this kind of like disaffectedness, this sense of like disconnection from that incredible power source, right? Brace doesn't see themselves this way, and as such is just kind of like lashing out helplessly at everything around her. I think that's the predominant feeling you're getting, like, because you described yourself just kind of like showing up and then losing track of what you were doing and like laying around.
Yeah.
Brace is a purposeless mess right now. Yeah, at least that's what the psychic impression you get.
And how could I get Brace to be human?
Redirect the flow, cut it off. I mean, how do you deal with the vast pressure of water? Like, I guess you could re-engineer Brace so that you could let some of that energy out without breaking the dam.
Yeah, she needs the little like release spigot.
Yeah.
Relief spigot on a dam.
Yeah. Totally. That would be a thing.
Brace has to let out a little bit of her weird all the time, or else she just like.
I just need to perforate you a little bit.
You just need to get perforated.
So I shoot her. Yeah, it's obvious.
So that happens. That exchange passes between you, and then the Maelstrom punches you really fucking hard in the face, Brace.
Okay.
You're gonna take 2 psi harm. So
that
when
would be to 9.
Well, no, this isn't regular harm. This is psychic harm. This is different. So when you take psi harm, you roll plus the harm suffered. I think this is pretty serious psi harm. So roll plus 2.
Roll plus 2.
2d6 plus 2. Yep. And you want to fail this move. I said you want to fail. Come on, what are you doing?
I tried.
All right.
Fail all the rolls, succeed the harm.
So you're out of your own control. So Brace, you go away for a bit. You try to. What is it like when you go angry with your brain? Like, is that a thing that Brace is aware of and consciously doing, or is it kind of the like wild talent psychic thing where you're like, stop touching me? I'm like, your mind like latches
I
up.
think that there's like she can do it under control, but she can also do it like unintentionally in cases of like extreme emotion. But she doesn't really get extreme very often,
Right.
So I feel like most of the time it's something that she does intentionally. Like she like threads a needle into someone's like brain, like with her head.
Mm-hmm.
But like in extreme cases, like this ultimate failure, I feel like it would just be like she's screaming, but not like actually screaming.
Yeah. Okay. So Yeah, I think you reach out for Tynant as like a method of like trying to get him or them to behave differently than they are, right? You're like, stop
And,
it, do a different thing. I don't like this thing you're doing.
Yeah.
And then it's like just like someone turns the lights off, right? You're just like you go for that place, and there's some kind of feedback that just puts you out completely. Like you just, it's like you know, sometimes when you like go to sleep, you like lie down, you close your eyes, and it's like you just blinked, and it's like, oh, cool, the whole night is gone. I don't feel rested at all.
Oh no, I've been there. Like
you'll-
when you're really tired and you're driving home, and suddenly you're home, and you're like, oh shit, like where did all
Right.
the driving go?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
So
my
we'll-
favorite when it's
am
just
I all right? Like, did anyone die?
How did that happen? You like, yeah, did I crash? You black out basically. And we'll cut you back in, but time passes normally for Tynant. Tynant, something else occupies Brace's frail body for a moment. What is it? Is it a ghost? Like,
Oh, it's totally the ghosts.
yeah.
It's like a bunch of ghosts.
Okay. All right. And what do they tell you? What do they say? What message do they impart through Brace?
I think the ghosts are going to talk about what's going on in town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're
What
gonna
what in particular in town are the ghosts interested in?
why everyone's being so fucking stupid. Like all the like corruption and badness, everything that is like anathema to our community here.
Okay, and
And also,
they're gonna
like,
offer you.
I'm really looking forward to our
The
conversation.
ghosts are a bunch of anarchists, and so they're really pissed off that there's like there's a hierarchy, and there are people abusing that hierarchy, and there's all this shit going on. They're like really not into that kind of thing. They're a bunch of very opinionated anarchist ghosts.
Okay, well let's give you augury temporarily then. Let's let that happen. Let's just keep rolling these moves one after another. How the fuck does
Or
augury
maybe
work?
do the ghosts give me insight? Are they maybe part of that whole thing? Like because of my people at the temple I can talk to and they give me insight.
Yeah, Brace isn't one of your people though. Brace is very explicitly not of your people. Yeah, when you're able to use something for augury, roll plus weird, and then you get to choose one of these things on a hit. So let's do
Okay, it's
it.
gonna go poorly.
Yeah, no, I know.
Roll plus weird. It's gonna
All
go
right.
bad.
All right, on a miss, whatever bad happens, your antenna takes the brunt of it. So here's the thing. This is the perforation, right? This is like the temporary hole. Like when Brace goes off, we turn Brace off for a second, and then a torrent of like psychic stuff, ghost stuff comes out. But when you release that much pressure through, you know, a pinhole, it tends to damage things. So with a cacophony of a dozen like ghostly voices at once, Brace starts to talk, trying to impart like a bunch of wisdom and knowledge to you, but it's just like tearing like Brace apart basically.
Does like water come
Yeah,
out? Of
yeah. So Brace
God.
goes limp and like falls down and is trying to talk, but it's just like vomiting torrents of water, and it's just like coming out of her nose and like just like crying and like just barfing up water.
Ugh.
And a bunch of people have like turned to look at Brace like speaking in tongues or trying to, and like also like water's pouring out. So cool.
I have a thing I want to
Yeah,
do.
please
So
do.
I like scoop her up into my giant arms,
Uh-huh.
and like hold her like a child. And like some people are looking, so I just get like the first two I find, which are like, I don't know, who are they?
Well, I think one is probably Melody.
Right.
And then the other is we haven't seen them yet. Ultraviolet and Melody.
Ultraviolet and Melody. Yeah. So I'm like, you two, come here, please.
Yeah, they come rushing over. There's obviously some fucked up shit going on.
I need you to go into town. I need you to get Bill and
I need you to
Actually,
go to
no.
Washington and get the president. Bring him here
You
for
go to
me.
town. You need to bring me dice and Rolf ball.
Okay, they like look at each other, and Melody's like, I don't think we're gonna be able to get Rolf Ball. And meanwhile, Brace is like babbling and just like barfing, and you have her hold it. So you're getting
So-
soaked in this like ice cold water too.
Yeah, and I tell them like these like words to say to each of those people, which are like kind of like I don't know, they seem strange or whatever. but this is going to be my move triggering here,
Right. Yeah.
which is I have Peacemaker.
Okay.
And so when I call for 2 rivals or enemies to come to me and meet to settle things between them,
Awesome.
roll plus cool.
And this is such a good way to jump ahead with them too. Fucking awesome. Okay.
So let's see how this goes.
Now, here's the thing. Okay, so it doesn't matter with the 12. I was gonna suggest or let Elf know, like, you can interfere, right? You can resist this move if you don't want to be peace made.
No, it's cool.
But-
I'm willing to role play
But
this out.
at this point, even if you wanted to, you couldn't. So
Mhm.
yeah, a 10
so
wouldn't be any different.
On a hit, they must both come to me at the time I specify.
Okay.
And on a 10 up, I choose 2 from this list. And just so everyone knows, the list is they must come alone, they must come unarmed, they must bring gifts, peace offerings, prisoners to exchange, or tokens of goodwill. And so I get to choose 2 out of 3 of those.
Okay. I really like the idea of you, like, we don't get to know what you said, right? You're just like, tell them this, and you like, yeah, you lean it, Chet cut me off on this, you're just like, Hail Hydra, and then like whatever it is, yeah, you like whisper it to Melody, and then she nods, and they leave, and it works. Like, we don't get to hear what it is. This is the end of Lost in Translation, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's totally that weird, like, mysterious thing where I just like know the right words. And so they must come alone and bring peace offerings,
Okay.
which is to say that you can come armed.
Okay.
And the time I specify is like another like 2 days from now,
Okay.
which is
Now,
pretty much going to be right away by the time my 2 messengers walk down to town.
is the peace offering like it's up to them to interpret what that means?
Yeah,
Okay.
but also it's not clear who it's for,
Sure.
right? Like whether it's for me or for each other or whatever. So I'll leave that open as well.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
Brother brings a fucking egg.
Listen, Lamprey has the eggs, and Lamprey was not summoned here.
Raw better bring some fucking eggs.
And I'm like, as a little like addendum to the end of it, I'm like, and maybe if you see him, get Ferris to come too.
Okay.
Fix
So
things.
it's it's not up to Dice or Rolf Ball. They will show up. Ferris can choose whether to be there or not. Cool. Okay.
I know about it.
So here's the thing, right? Like you have Brace like dying in your arms, but you choose instead to focus externally, ignoring the immediate threat to Brace. I think that the thirst explosion it finishes, it plays itself out. The ghosts lose their grip on Brace, but Brace, you take 2 more harm, 2 more unavoidable like physical harm from
Physical harm.
all of this vomiting.
Well,
And
I
I'm
like
gonna- I'm
maybe
gonna
I
fix
like
Brace.
once
Yeah.
they leave me, like I start like spazzing out and like harming myself.
Yeah.
So like you're in my arms doing this, and I'm just not stopping it.
Yeah, totally. Sorry, Dave, go ahead.
It takes away a little bit from the immediacy of the situation, but I would quite like for my antenna and technological equipment. I'm planning on perhaps rolling augury after finding this weirdness happening, and I would really like to isolate Brace's soul that's come out of her body into a machine.
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, I think you'll
pick this up.
I think you'll get that opportunity. Now is not that moment. But yes, Brace's relationship with her physical form is a tenuous one at best, and you'll have the opportunity to definitely do that. But I think you would definitely need to get Brace into your workspace for that. Yeah, yeah, that's totally a thing. All right.
Euphemism?
So, it's several days later, or do you want to punish Brace for breaking the law first?
Punish me while I'm dying? Yes, please.
So
Well, I mean, hold
the
on.
thing that
There's
I
another
chose-
move. There's another move to make before we go back and we resolve your lawmaking. You just took 2 harm, Brace. Go ahead and make that harm move.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I will. This is gonna go really well. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
is there a way for me to highlight your harm move? Because it seems like there you go. You failed terribly. All right, you're unconscious then. So you
Does
have
any of this harm count as being done by any particular person?
I feel like it's just no. It's Brace, right? Like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing it to myself.
It's the harm of the psychic
The
maelstrom.
ghosts are hurting me.
And then to loop back to my Lawbringer move,
Yeah.
on a 10 up, I get to choose. And so I make an exception for them and they have no blame, is what I'm choosing. So I'm just
Okay.
like, okay, you're like this horribly broken thing. I'm just going to take you back and fix you. Like,
So Porter witnessed that whole exchange. Porter's been a little funny since
does that kill Deerfield?
since Deerfield got killed. Yeah, like working but reluctantly. His heart's just not in it, and he witnessed this whole thing with like, and it's not. I mean, we see this, and I think like I'm telling you this as players, so you can use it in a sort of author stance way. But yeah, Porter sees and recognizes this, watches you witness someone breaking the law, and then doing nothing.
And like I'm about to do something, and then I changed my mind at the last minute, right? Because I dragged her all the way through town and pitched her to the road, and
Yep.
that could have just been her being exiled, which is one of the appropriate punishments. And instead, I'm like, okay, no, we're gonna go back, and it's like this incredibly public,
Yeah.
yeah, like everyone sees it happen.
Yeah, so Porter season is the first to like turn to someone near him as like, what the fuck, what's going on? And they
Yeah,
like,
muttering of dissent.
yeah, there starts to be the muttering, totally.
Oh my god.
Yep. Okay.
The susurrations.
Yeah. So what happened in the several days since the showdown at the Sunset Corral?
I had to recover from getting stabbed a whole bunch.
Yeah, I mean, you only hit not you hit 9, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it will get better on its own. What do you do? Do you like take it easy or do you just like work?
Probably like the first day, I'm like, okay, I don't want to exacerbate the fact that I got stabbed. But I would probably, when I'm resting, rest in such a way that I could still yell at people.
Okay, all right. So you're like on sick leave, but you're still in the bar and like
I've like moved this like armchair I found behind the bar, and I'm like sitting in it, you know, like not getting up to do anything or like moving or anything, but it's like, fuck, Ba, you missed the spot right there. Get that shit, you know, like.
God, I don't like. It doesn't sound like you're taking it easy to me. But
It's easier than not doing anything.
well, yeah, I mean, this is the thing, right? Your choices are. I'll just put the choice in front of you. You fucking take the few days off. You can have one of your harm back, or you
not.
can work. It's one or the other. There's no like. I'm getting better, but I'm also still like running the bar. Like you have
No,
to
I
turn
feel you.
you have to turn the
Alright.
bar over to who's your second? Was it Bean?
It's Bean, yeah.
Yeah, so you got to give Bean 3 solid days of like running the show if you want that harm back. Otherwise, you're just like fucking duct tape a pillow to your wound and you're like, fine, I'm good.
I guess I gotta give it to him because I gotta recover.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start a countdown clock. Give me a moment here.
Bean is an asshole.
I mean, that's judgmental.
I mean, I feel like if anything, the threat is that Beans isn't an asshole and you are. Right?
That's the countdown. At midnight, you realize you were the asshole all along.
You were the asshole all along. I mean, Dice well and truly knows that.
All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just make a threat called Bean, and I'm gonna remind myself during my prep to fix this or work this out. Stakes. What's the deal with Bean?
Bean wants to be in on the bar. That's what Bean wants.
Okay. All right.
He wants to get cut in.
In and done. Right, yeah, his name is Bean because he's named after Sean Bean. So he actually died 2 episodes ago. Cool. Okay. So you just like rest. Now you live at Hit Me Up or
Yeah, I do.
okay, so you're like in your little upstairs.
There's like a back room, you know, that is basically like Dice's bedroom.
Okay. Yeah. So you can hear the fighting. You can hear because there's noise, right? No, was it noise and shadows and? violence or whatever. So
noise, it's noise, shadows, and violence.
cool. So you just spend 3 days like kind of like lying in the wet dark, listening to people beat the shit out of each other, just kind of like
Oh my god.
healing damply while people get all fucked up.
All I have to say to that is music to my ears.
So here's the thing. You've got connections with Rolf Ball, but things are like a little strained right now. You don't check in with Rolf Ball for 3 days. You run out of drugs. Like
Yeah.
your supply is dried up, and we just, this is a thing. Until we can fix it, the bar is like, I'm gonna say it's in a state of flux. It's not operational, but like you got to spend some barter.
Less efficiently operational.
Bean is having to be like, yeah, sorry, like we're working this stuff out. If you want to fight, that's fine, because there's an infinite supply of punches available in the world, but there's no scarcity of violence, but there's this scarcity of drugs. But thankfully, you heal your one harm, and you are called to the temple, and by whatever means, whatever summons you there, we can maybe bring that up later. But I don't think we get to see it now. I think we just like cut from that to there.
Yeah.
Ferris, you're invited to join, but not summoned. Do you go? And if so, like why? What's the draw for you? What did they say to you to get you to go one way or the other on this?
Weren't you saying that your stuff went like crazy? All your little beeping things?
Yeah, I'd like to think that I knew something happened up at the temple anyway. So when people invited me to go up there, then I was like, yeah, totally, I want to find out what it was. I think it's just curiosity more than anything.
Yeah.
It depends whether I have the opportunity to like do some augury and stuff.
Well, you promised Sunset you would fix her shit. So are you going back on that, or?
I have a lot of things to fix.
Yeah, but you promised, and Sunset's not going to be like, yeah, it's okay, just come back whenever. Like, you fucked up her still, and she's in your face. You can choose to be like, sorry, lady, I'm not down. But yeah,
No, I've got 2 or 3 days. It won't take that long to fix.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to fix it, you've got the materials in your workspace, and spend a barter, and it's fixed.
Spend another barter.
Yeah.
Why is nobody paying me for anything?
Because you haven't done any gigs, and you keep taking these jobs where people don't pay you.
All right. Okay, I'll use my last barter to fix it.
Yeah, I don't actually have gigs on my thing.
Oh, everybody does. Everybody can work a gig. It's a let's talk about the gigs.
I mean,
because
for me, it's underneath. It's on my.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, for me, it's not Blue Jay.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't have that.
no, you can still. It's a move that's available to everybody. Let me see where it is. Lifestyles, gigs.
It's one of the like peripheral basic moves.
It's an MC rule that it's the same as like a lifestyle or a creating a vehicle move. So it's it's when a player tells you that her character would like to work a gig, ask her what she has in mind. She might pick one from her list or might suggest a new one. It's up to you to decide whether to say yes, no, or not yet. Like, that's a good idea, but first you'll have to whatever. Once you've settled the question, the character works the gig, you have to decide how it goes. I can just decide, we can play it out in full, or I can call for a move or a couple of moves to summarize it. No matter how you do it, the baseline of pay is like 2 to 4 barter, but 3 is the average.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to work a gig, you have to have the time and the opportunity to do so, and the ability to get paid for it. But it is a thing you can do during an allotted time. But right now, you've decided to heal up, which is smart. And then Ferris is making good on a promise. But if like later, if I'm like, cool, like 4 or 5 days pass, you can be like, oh, I would have definitely worked a gig. And this is above and beyond your like bar keeping your shit together. If you need extra barter, you can go out and be like, cool, well, I'm gonna go like beat on some people, or I'm gonna whatever. Like we can talk about a gig that you can
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
Just because I've been in this state of like, I can't make any money, you know?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, you totally can.
I wish I'd known that like last games.
Well, I mean, you didn't have time, right? Like, it's all about that's the main thing. Is like when you only really have it when we allotted time like that. But yeah, so you're called to the temple. Ferris comes because they're interested. So it's it's several days after the showdown at Sunsets. I think the thing with Sunset, like where we leave that, we can come back to it. But my understanding of that situation, and you and I can work this out, Dice, is my understanding is that Sunset wouldn't want to give up. Like, we can just leave the situation where you're like, fine, fuck this, I'm leaving. And Sunset would be like, good riddance, and Hunk isn't going to shoot anybody else. And that's it. But you don't get any more traction on that. And Wall, probably you don't see him again for a few days.
Do I see him at all?
He avoids you. And if you're in your room, like, recovering, you probably hear, like, somebody says, oh, yeah, like, yeah, Wall's, like, he's not gone. He's not missing. He shows up for work. But he avoids you, personally, which is pretty easy to do when you're all, like, fucked up. But if you wanted to, in that situation, have pushed Sunset a little bit, then, like, maybe. But, you know, she has the upper hand.
I don't know how I would have done that.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. So I think we break on that, and like you don't really get any traction. You still know that she's involved somehow in like whatever the fuck's going on with Wall, and
it's okay,
he won't.
I'll go back up there and burn her house to the ground later.
I figured you probably would. He won't. Plan. Yeah. Wall won't directly address you about it, but yeah. Okay. So a day or two after Brace's situation, I mean, you can Tynan, you can set the scene here. Like, what, you're the one that called them here. They've both arrived, Ferris in tow. Where's the situation? What's happening? Is there like a ritual? Are people gathered? Is this like more a private thing? What are we seeing here?
So it's definitely like in the actual like temple place with the well.
Okay.
And it's kind of this like ceremony to it.
Okay.
And so there's a certain ritual around like people coming together to reconcile their problems, which we go through, and they have to like, you know, bring their gifts or whatever.
Yeah. That's I forgot about the gifts. So, okay. So first of all, do you greet Rolf Ball as a newcomer to the temple?
Oh, hell yeah.
All right. Would you like to make that move?
Sure.
All right.
Let me find that move.
Because that's, I think, the first thing that happens, right?
Okay. When I personally greet newcomers, roll plus sharp. I do it.
And the stipulations of their arrival was come alone and come with gifts?
Yeah.
Okay. So Rolf Ball comes, yeah, like packing, because if he can't bring his goons, then he's gonna like,
he's not gonna come up here naked.
Exactly. He's got his shit. He's got some shit.
Okay, so I get to ask two questions. And this is like, you know, I'm down at the like road where the path, you know, comes from the road, welcoming him personally, and I have my little like box of bones and everything. And so is he keeping any malicious secrets?
Like just generally?
Yeah.
Yes, lots, tons. Dude is composed primarily of malicious secrets.
Yeah, so he's like
he has ill intent for every person he has ever met or will ever meet. Like
Oh my God.
Everyone is either someone that he can use, manipulate, or is trash to him. Yeah.
And is he hiding a disease?
I mean, not literally, no.
Doesn't have to be literal.
I know.
Is his like way of thinking a disease?
I mean, that's up for interpretation. Not to him, it's not. But no, you know what? He's not hiding a disease. If that's his disease, he is not hiding it, right? Like he's a scummy dude. He has no respect for human life, except what value he can wring from it. And he is he's a manipulator and a tyrant, right? Like he wants everybody to do what he says.
See, we're completely different people because I just want everybody to do what the ghosts of the dead say.
Right. Yeah. Cool. Is the actual name of the temple Nuremberg? Because I think it might be. Yeah, no, Rolf Ball's...
when we defend it.
Exactly. It's a great battle. Yeah, he desperately craves people being like bowing before his whim. He is a he wants the hegemony of Rolf Ball to reign supreme.
Yeah, great. Love this guy. This guy's excellent.
Yeah.
So I like welcome him, and I'm very like, very like polite and kind to people who show up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we saw this all before with dice and everything, right?
He's if anything, like he hasn't changed his appearance. He hasn't like dressed up necessarily. If anything, he's sort of just deepened his Rolf Ballness. Like he's wearing like openly wearing like armor and carrying a weapon. He's got like an AK-47 or something. And
Right.
he's trying to exude this aura of like, I'm a big deal. It doesn't matter if I'm not in town or one of my guys. Like, I'm a big deal.
Well, and that's the whole thing, right? Is I'm like, oh no, you're just another person. You just man with a gun.
Sure.
And that's why he's got to come alone, right?
Yeah. Keep treating him like that. He's gonna love it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Okay.
So I'm not like overtly disrespectful to him, but the whole framing of everything is inherently designed to like undermine him.
He's carrying what like one of those like plastic and metal like reinforced like military like camera cases. It's like a Pelican, like a big like olive colored case. He's brought that with him.
Okay.
The peace offering here is not for the temple. The peace offering is for Dice.
Cool.
Dice. Does Dice get the move too? Is this do you welcome Dice as a newcomer to the newcomer bit is what makes me wonder if you do it every time someone comes?
I mean, she's coming. She's new to the place.
You've welcomed me before, and to be fair, I'm in a very different state than the last time I was here.
Right, you haven't been back. You haven't been back since the unpleasantness, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
This is my first time back since I tried to kill you all.
So sure, let's ask one.
Yeah.
One more of Dice. Okay, I get 2. So yeah, like Dice shows up. What does she look like right now?
She's got a different leather jacket on from the last time you saw her because the other one's got knife holes in it.
Got holes in. Yeah.
Yeah, she's got like a little bit of what I would consider to be like that, like I'm injured around the torso somewhere, limp, you know?
Right, that like walking is causing you some
like kind of like curve over yourself.
Like just a little bit. Like she's clearly trying to play it off.
Mm-hmm.
Her sunglasses are back, obviously, because we got to be serious and disrespectful. Yeah, I mean, other than that, it's Dice, but it's Dice trying to do the thing she did before, but without the 30 people behind her. You know what I mean? So it's actually a little sadder.
Like you and Rolf Ball are like exactly the same.
Why they are so
like I like how you and I just described the exact same like personality trait, but in a different way. Like yeah, I act like I still have my gang.
Yeah,
that's okay. Tynan gets his power from Ghost too.
Are you hiding my enemies among you? By which
enemies?
I mean, are you personally my enemy?
Am I your enemy? I mean, we haven't been enemies for like a year, but that doesn't mean.
No, that's how it works, right? With people, like you try to kill them, and then you wait a year, and they're like, "No, statute of limitations."
And then that's fine. Like we're fine after that. I haven't tried to kill you actively for a year, so things are probably all right.
Yeah, and like you're feeling all right about it.
I mean, I don't harbor any personal resentment towards you. However, if you're talking about disrupting this particular event, I'm likely to shoot Rolf Ball.
That's fine.
Okay.
If that's how you want to make your peace, that's up to you. And my other question
solves my problem.
Will be, are you keeping that a secret? Are you keeping any other malicious secrets?
Am I keeping malicious secrets?
Or is it like obvious that you're here to kill Rolf Ball?
I mean, I'm clearly antagonistic. Like, if you're reading a person, you can tell, like, I'm not really happy to be here. And you summoned me with a whatever mystical, line that got me to come up here. Maybe the line was just Rolf Ball's gonna be alone. Could be. But I'm looking for advantage here. I'm not looking for peace, basically.
Cool. Great. That's my move.
Okay.
And then everyone's up in the temple.
So
I've also
Ferris
got
doesn't get the greeting.
Ferris too. Actually, I would totally be curious about Ferris.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're fine with me rolling this move a bunch of times.
Yeah. Keep rolling. I love it when you roll.
Whatever.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I
Get
get
that
3
sharp
questions.
XP.
There.
Blam. All right.
Are you keeping any malicious secrets?
Yeah, what you concerned about by when you say malicious? Like that it's going to be harmful to your temple?
Yeah, to like me or the temple.
You know, like
or
bad
to
code
other people
injections.
here.
It
Are you
could be.
intending to do like selfish or bad things to anyone here in the temple?
I mean, Brace
No.
is in the temple and he wants to put my soul in a robot, so.
No, I don't have any overtly malicious secrets.
Cool, great. Are you hiding a disease of some kind?
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Then I guess, are you armed? Are you
Am I
hiding any weapons?
Yeah,
Great.
we have a weapon.
And you're hiding it. It's not like Dice and Rolf Ball where they're like, check out my fucking guns.
I
You're
can just like I can
Yeah,
tell.
I'm
I
just-
don't know what it is, but I can tell that Ferris is in some way armed,
Mhm.
Yep.
and that he's trying to hide it.
Ferris is armed in the same way a nuclear warhead is armed.
Fixing
Yeah,
the blow.
I have a weapon concealed within my tools somewhere in my coat.
Mhm.
Yeah, and if you can find that out about people, then you can totally find.
Yeah.
find out
Great.
about me.
Those are my questions.
Oh, by the way, gear-wise, the stuff I'm holding in my hands when I come in, I've got like a bottle of that orange fermented, like horrible,
Water, gross.
horrible, yeah, or, like shitty, drink. And the weapon you can clearly see sticking out of the inside pocket of my jacket is like a magnum or something, like a nasty revolver.
Great.
All right.
So everyone
what
comes up
happens?
to the temple.
So everyone comes up to the temple, yeah.
We're gonna have a great old time at the temple.
I mean, am I like with you? Like you where
How functional are you?
I
Are you,
don't
like, in a
know.
coma?
It's
What's
been 2 days, right?
It's been 2 days.
What did you do? Like you want to just keep breaking the law and not working and just fucking laying around?
I was unconscious.
Well, you wake up and then you get to choose whether you're gonna keep being a fucking dirty lawbreaker or do you try to like work or what? What's the
Work
fucking
with
deal?
the 9 harm? Like, didn't
I
you
mean,
just say that
yeah.
Dice couldn't work or else she wouldn't get better?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking you. What are you doing? Because your choices here, you're put in an awkward position, right? Because the whole problem that started here was because you're being a lazy layabout, and now your body's failing. I guess, are there provisions in the law for like,
Sick people?
sick people? No, the sick must work.
Well,
Comrade
I'm gonna-
Tynan demands
I'm gonna
it.
fix her with the water in a hot second here.
Okay, so
But-
you're like I've been laying around like semi-conscious for 2 days. This is what you're saying. Not healing, but not getting worse.
Do you assign someone to like take care of? Is someone's job to take care of Brace?
Nipperkin is the doctor.
Yeah, but Nipperkin is like, there's a moment where you and Nipperkin have this conversation where Nipperkin's like, so like word's getting around that you're like Brace is getting special treatment, and now you want me to like take care of her? Like I get that that's why I'm here, like heal people, but like this seems like bullshit, Tynan. I think we like flash back to this conversation.
Yeah. Well, I don't like it either, but we're the only people that can help her. And if we can fix her, I feel that would be very important work.
Oh, so it's about your feelings now.
I am
Not
permitted to have them. I am human, just like you.
Yeah, well, I don't see the point of having laws if you just get to feel your way around them.
Look. I'm not saying that if a working member of the community needs your help, that you help her first. I'm just saying you keep her from dying until I can try to fix her. Once I've done that, I'll know if it can be done or not. If not, she'll suffer the consequences of her disrespect. If she can be mended, she will be of great use to the community and will repay many times over the cost that we will spend in keeping her alive. This is my offer to you. It is entirely up to you to accept it or not. I leave this in your judgment, but I would love to hear what you think the right course would be.
And yeah, Nipperkin, he sighs and he's like, yeah, you've diffused him a little bit, right? Like, and he says, look, it's not that I don't want to help. I don't like seeing anybody suffer, even weirdos like Brace. But I just don't see the point in taking time and energy and resources that we had to trade for to make someone better if they're just going to get drowned. Like, I wish we had some forewarning on this. Can't you, like, can't you ask? Because I'm not going to spend a week making them better and then have them, I'm not going to have her taken away from me. It's pointless. It's like tilling the land and insulting
your
it.
work away either. In times like this, I feel I can only trust what my understanding of the will of the ghosts is. And right now, this is what I think they want.
And I think Nipperkin puts his hand on your shoulder and like gives you like a look. Like this isn't like a grab. This is like a comforting, like,
yeah, because we're friends.
Yeah, and he says, he's like, Tynan, we all got jobs, and my job is to make sick people better, and that's not a hard job, right? Bodies work or they don't, and you know, I can encourage them to keep working. I'm gonna do my job. I don't have to like it every time, but I get it. Your job is harder, and listen, I'm worried. Okay, what happened with Deerfield, I think, fucked some people up, and everybody's a little on edge and keeping a closer eye on things than maybe they used to be. I got an eye for this stuff, and I see a lot more opportunities to do my job. More people are carrying weapons. More people are acting on edge, and it feels good to have a purpose, but I'd rather people just didn't shoot each other, you know? So I'm gonna work on Brace, and we're gonna make this happen, but we could all use some guidance. So maybe, I don't know, maybe go find some for us.
I have something in mind that may renew the community's faith in the work that we are doing. It will happen tomorrow. Very publicly.
All right. Well, I guess I better get to work. Okay, so you have an NPC healing you, so that's a little bit different. Let's look at healing. So healing by there's no angel. There's a particular NPC medic. Let's see. Someone. So here's the thing. You can heal one on your own. If somebody, I don't care who, if somebody pays one barter, you can hear another one heal another stretch.
I mean, but like,
add something for context with all of this. When there is surplus, it's like the whole community.
Yeah.
Has some. So like Nipperkin has means to actually do it. I'm not saying like give Blue Jay lots of extra free healing, but just like he certainly would have the necessary.
Yeah, I think if they weren't in surplus, then that conversation would have been like, I don't have the bandages for this shit. I don't have the morphine. I don't have the things I need to do my job. So yeah, the surplus allows that initial that healing.
I mean, that being said, Brace is like, she doesn't like, if she's in her body enough to like know that she's hurt, like she's not like you said, she kind of neglects herself and her physical body a lot. So, but if she's like in a place where like the only thing to do is heal, like I feel like she would like try and mess with shit if she is physically capable of doing that. So like this might not be as like easy as Tynant and Nipperkin would like it to be if she's conscious. So like maybe he's just like, if you want me to help this girl, like then like just like I don't know, like put her out because she's a little shit and she's been around before and she steals my scalpels and like she makes a mess of shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I've taken his stuff before. Like he's not like.
So the quality, when it comes down to it mechanically, the quality of the care comes from how much barter you spend. So you'll get the one for free just from having an NPC medic to take care of you. But you can spend 0 or 1 or 2. Like how healed do you want to get?
I mean, Brace wouldn't like. She wouldn't do anything to help herself. So like if unless Tynant is like, I need her to be really really healthy. Like, I'll whatever. Like she's just gonna do the one thing.
Okay.
And then,
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
yeah,
totally.
So I'm just I take one arm off.
Yeah, you stay narco stabbed pretty much the whole time. There's some like internal like stuff that's fucked up with you, and so yeah, so you're under watch. But they don't. Nipperkin, he doesn't like go to any special like.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, doesn't go to any special lengths. Cool. Okay. So I have a quick MC like requirement because we've got the healing thing going on. I'm being asked by the rules to make Nipperkin a threat. So let's add him to the list, and then we'll carry on. So yeah. Meanwhile, back in the present.
Yeah. So everyone's gathered at the temple.
Yeah.
And Tynant will like lead us all in this like ceremonial thing about like reconciliation.
Well, let's take our second break here, and we'll do the ceremonial reconciliation when we get back.
Great.
Okay.
All right, ceremonial reconciliations for everybody when we return. Stick around.